Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. So, in this one, I wanted to basically discuss how uh, making content on Black Ops 4 at this point is like, well, at least when I am speaking about my displeasure of this game, it's basically like beating a dead horse. And I did a commentary for today's video like 3 or 4 hours ago, and it was just the way I wanted it to. It was passionate. I wasn't screaming or anything, but I was definitely expressing myself, so to speak. But the commentary ended up being all over the place. Maybe it's partially because I need a new microphone, so which I use a Blue Snowball. But for a while now, the microphone itself, I've actually had to amplify my commentary 3 or 4 fold, just so that way you guys can hear what I'm saying. But the thing is, this time around, you couldn't even understand what I was saying, and everything definitely wasn't clear in the audio. So hopefully this time around, it's a little bit better, at least until I can get a new mic, and I'll either get another Blue Snowball or I might get a Blue Yeti. I've already mentioned it on Twitter, so I might get a Yeti because the quality is just a little bit higher. It's twice as expensive, but it's worth it. So we will see what happens within the next coming weeks or whatnot. So I'm probably gonna go for the Yeti unless something happens and I need to hold on to that extra 50 or 60 bucks that it would cost, and I'll go back to a blue microphone. And I love the Blue Snowball that I'm using now. So I have no problem going back to it. But yeah, if anything, I can just get a Yeti, granted. But if not, I could always go back to it and just get a brand new one. But the thing is, I ended up dropping it one too many times, and yeah, that's what ended up happening. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. So anyway, on to the topic of today. Now, obviously, there's been a whole bunch of tweets by Vaughn trying to be a little bit transparent and explain things. And before redoing this commentary, I ended up going back and reading that article in its entirety from Charlie Intel, because they like to post and discuss things that gets posted on Reddit every once in a while, and they make articles about it. And Charlie Intel is a pretty reputable source, and they stay up to date. And I always check them on a regular basis to see what's going on with this game or what's going on in COD in general, or if there are any rumors or anything like that about the next Call of Duty, or maybe where the future of Call of Duty is. And if they have something like an article about it, I stay in the loop through them. So anyway, I went back and I read it all in its entirety, and it's like basically Vaughn, in his way, I guess, or the way Activision wants him to be, he's trying to be somewhat transparent. And the thing is, basically, in terms of, and he's saying things in a way that we kind of already know. In other words, in terms of what we want, and in terms of where corporate interest meets and how money works and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't just see eye to eye we just don't see eye to eye when it comes to business decisions. Obviously, we as the fan base, we definitely don't always agree with what Activision does and decides. Remember, even Vaughn has to answer to somebody, and that's Activision. And quite frankly, without Activision, Vaughn wouldn't have a job. It's simple as that. Even though we are the ones that pay Activision, because Activision makes their money through us, through the fan base. And it really is heartbreaking to see just how much we're taken advantage of. I mean, once, like I told you guys many times before in previous commentaries, a smart person is always going to take advantage of a person that is not so smart, or let's just say a person that is more vulnerable. So the thing is that, I mean, they're updating the black market regularly, but multiplayer isn't getting updated regularly. There's a lot of things that have been severely delayed. There's been a lot of things that have been severely requested time and time again through our community that still haven't been brought to us, and at the same time may never get brought to us. And in the meantime, according to Charlie Intel, there has been layoffs over at Activision. I don't know exactly why or how in the world that happened or whatnot, but long story short, though, when it comes to layoffs and stuff like that, when somebody gets laid off at work, regardless of what job it is, you know, unless they're like filthy rich, and they shouldn't, and they don't even have to worry about having income in the first place. I mean, if they're up there or whatnot, and if they get laid off, then, you know, then that's one thing. But if you're for the most part a regular guy that either lives paycheck to paycheck or somewhere close to that, then, you know, especially when things happen in life that can easily drain your wallet as well as your savings, and as well as the fact that you know, you're just trying to make a life that's a little bit better for yourself, and then for one reason or another you get laid off, it absolutely sucks. So in that aspect, you know, I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't want to wish that on anybody, quite frankly. So, and remember, guys, it's all about Activision. I mean, if the devs want to do something, and if Activision says no, even if that something is good or not, if Activision says no, that's where it stops. And that's how it is. I mean, even with me or with anybody else, I mean, if there's somebody ahead of you, all they have to do is say no, and then it's done. Like at my new job, if there's something I want to do, but if my higher ups don't agree with it, then I simply can't do it, no matter what. There's a chain of command and politics when it comes to everything. Some places there's more politics, some places less. But the thing is, there is the fact that Activision is legally bound to please the shareholders. In other words, they are supposed to make as much money as humanly possible. It's simple as that. So that's where it is. And I'm not standing up for Activision in any way, shape, or form. I really think that by if they were to follow a formula similar to what the VR guys are doing now, like Apex Legends or what Fortnite is doing, I mean, Fortnite is beating the shit out of COD in terms of the amount of money that it makes on a regular basis. And it's a free-to-play game, and they're giving their fan base options on whether or not they want to buy something, as opposed to, like, the only way you can get this is to buy it. So, which is what the black market, like, updates with, like, multiple times a week, from what I've seen. Like seriously, multiple times a week, the black market gets an update. I mean, look at all the amount of updates. So, and a lot of that is like, hey, this is, you know, you can get this to a sale if you purchase it. You know, they're just trying to make more and more money. And again, the things that you can, not everything is grindable in that game. So, and what they consider a lot of content, well, it is content. I mean, all the stickers and all that other stuff that we personally don't give a damn about, that's in the tier system. There's a few things that we do care about, but not much. Most of the stuff that's in the tiers, in my humble opinion, is just not worth it. It's simple as that. So it's really nothing. It's the thing about this game is the base game is so good, but it just doesn't give you a reason to grind. World War II, on the other hand, to me, the base game isn't as good, but that game gives you a reason to grind time and time again. And with recent news, you know, obviously World War II is going to be having another update as of probably within the next week or so, if not sooner. And the thing is, they're going to be giving us more guns and all that kind of stuff. And I wish I enjoyed World War II like some of you guys did, because I probably would still be playing that game till this day. And I do get that thought of maybe I should, you know, just spend a measly $15 and repurchase a used copy of that game and just grind and see and try to unlock things, because I never even tried to unlock anything. So I would have a lot to grind for, and it would be a good thing in that aspect. But the base game is just, to me, is not as good, because the maps are terrible and all that kind of stuff. It's getting in engagements and stuff like that. I mean, with Call of Duty, it's random as it is, but like, you have to at least, if you have some knowledge and if the spawns are working correctly and if the maps are designed correctly to go along with the spawns, you should at least have some sort of an idea of where the enemy's gonna be. But if you're guessing too much and then all of a sudden you're getting shot in the back too much, or too much randomness is going on, and you just you can't seem to get out of spawn no matter what, and you're getting killed over and over again, when you combine all these things, it turns into a very frustrating experience. And for me personally, that's what I experienced in World War II. It's like randomness beats skill because of a certain design or whatnot. So I mean, you guys can fill me in if the game has changed for the better or whatnot, or it's more or less the same. Because I did play that game after the big overhaul, after Condrey and Schofield were gone. I played it, and even though it was an improvement for sure, it just still wasn't enough to keep me around. There was still a lot of frustration and all that kind of stuff, and I just wasn't having it. So that plays a role in the game as well. So, but again, if that has changed or if something has improved, I mean, just let me know down in the comment section and give me your personal update on Call of Duty World War II. And who knows, I might even try it. But the thing is, again, like I said, with this game, The base game in and of itself is good. I mean, if you don't count the the overdose of cheese in the specialist, the base game in this game is very good and very addictive, and that's definitely a big reason of why I play it today. The spawns have been improved. They're not perfect, but they certainly have been improved, especially from launch. The hit detection, especially on the Xbox One, has been improved, which again is definitely a good thing, and I'm absolutely loving it. And you put all these different aspects together, it's like, yeah, I mean, and some people are actually enjoying World War II now because the game is past its life cycle, and if there was skill-based matchmaking in that game, which a lot of people say there was, or a version of it, after a game's life cycle, it usually gets either dumbed down a lot or it doesn't exist at all, because you need to try to find, because the population is already lower, so you need to at least find matches. So, and I saw a video on Nero Cinema where he was talking about World War II and the update or whatnot, and in terms of domination, I think he was playing domination. You could never find a full lobby, so that's another thing. So if I get into a TDM and I can't find a full lobby, that's going to be like another waste. So, and when I play Advanced Warfare, whenever I do play TDM and Advanced Warfare on Xbox, I always find games. Free for all, if I play late into the night or early morning, not always, but I usually do find games in that as well. So, Infinite Warfare, I don't really have a problem finding matches, especially in TDM or whatnot. So I don't play anything else anyway. So, but yeah, when you put everything together in terms of the way Black Ops 4 has turned out, you know, and I'm not getting passionate in this commentary like I did in my previous one, but when you put it all together, it really can be mentally draining, and it really just feels like you're beating a dead horse. And the thing is, I know that I've touched upon this before in terms of, you know, displeasure of Black Ops 4, but here's the thing. Sometimes it's really hard to support COD, especially when all the different, when the certain decisions that the business decisions that they make are so kind of anti-consumer and disrespectful. It's like a big middle finger to the fans that basically brought them where they are in the first place. Sometimes it feels really bad and morally wrong to kind of support Call of Duty because of that fact. But at the same time, you got to realize that it's not all the developers and all that kind of stuff. It's the politics of money and all that kind of stuff. Maybe some greed and all that. I mean, I don't know. And at the same time, let's just mention the fact that when it comes to things like the black market or extra content for the game itself, Treyarch is not the best at it. Infinity Ward did a better job, and Sledgehammer sure as hell did a better job. So there's that as well. But so yeah, in a sense of what Vaughn was saying, I guess they do have things to figure out. But at the same time, us, the fan base, we're figuring out for them. We're telling them what we want, and we're still not getting it. I don't know if that has anything to do with the layoffs, but I do know for a fact that Activision is the one that says yes or no. And I also know for a fact that they've got a shit ton of money and they can make things happen the right way if they really wanted to. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for this one. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. I'm sorry if I sound a little tired in this commentary. I took a little nap because I haven't been getting enough sleep. I had to cover a shift today, so I haven't been getting enough sleep. But I managed to get a 3-hour nap in, so I'm feeling a little bit better, but I'm still a little tired. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think, and hopefully you'll like this commentary because the one that I previously wanted to release was a little bit more passionate. You might have liked that as well, but at the same time, there are other people out there that are very sensitive and they don't like hearing people's passion when it comes to a certain subject, to a point to where they will disrespect that other person just for having an opinion. But anyway, guys, let me know down in the comment section what you think, and as always, let me know if you liked the video, and if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. I'll catch you guys on the next one.